Good morning and welcome to another of my informal counseling sessions. Today's topic is going to be a little bit heavier than it's been in the past. We're going to talk about suicide and suicidality. I'm going to start out by giving you a little bit of background information about myself and tell you some of the things that I've done and that I've learned to do to help move forward from that phase of my life. So most people who know me, they know that I have 6 children. I have 6 children from 3 previous relationships. 2 of them I was married. The other one I was with for 2 years, and we lived in the same house like a married couple. None of those relationships panned out for me. As a result, I currently live by myself. It's not easy. It is something that we do joke around about. I'll even join in every now and again. I know my last duty station, people are like, don't shake Sergeant Ogg's hand, you might end up pregnant. And somehow, I guess some miracle of fate or whatever, within a couple months of arriving, every female that I worked with ended up having a child, except for maybe 1 or 2. But it was amusing for the time. However, under the surface, it's a lot to live with. My last relationship ended whenever I PCS'd. And I wasn't ready for it. I put everything I had into that relationship. That was going to be my last one, and that was going to be the relationship where I had a child growing up in a 2-parent household. And when it fell apart, I was completely devastated. And I was the type of person who was like, I'm never going to let a woman take me down. I don't consider myself an ugly guy. I know I'm not the greatest looking dude in the world, but I'm nice. I'm fairly intelligent. So I kind of figured, I'm a decent cat, I'm worth sticking around for. And to have that concept challenged where you can be forgotten about, where you can be left behind, it's a big blow. Your reality and your expectations aren't in alignment at that point. And on top of this, I also have 3 deployments under my belt. 2005, 2006, I was in Iraq. 2008, 2009, I was back in Iraq again. 2011, 2012, I was in Afghanistan. Each of these deployments lasted a year long. And I've lost friends along the way. A little over a year ago, I lost my little brother. And it just compounded. And so last December, I made an attempt to take my life. I started out cutting myself across the wrist. I guess you can say I chickened out of that, and I went to my garage, and it's like, you know what, if I'm going to go out, I want to do something painless. So I sealed up all the doors and I started running my engine. And it was around this time I got a phone call from my sister. And she said something that has been a piece of advice I've given to other people time and time and time again. She told me, she said, Ray, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to cry. Whatever you have to do it. You have a right to feel sad. You have a right to scream, punch the walls. But you've got to stay alive. And that put me back. Last February, I finally started seeking behavioral health. I did a month of inpatient therapy, trying to turn my life around. And it's helped out a lot. And one of the hardest things that I had to do was write a goodbye letter to these people that I lost. I had to write letters to the people that hurt me. And I had to think really hard about the people in my own past that I've hurt. I know with my second marriage, I was the one that left her. And she was devastated. And I guess I kind of got a taste of what I did to other people when the mother of my youngest left me. And they always tell you that the common denomination in all of your failed relationships is you. And then I always kind of laughed at that because that's universally applicable. Anybody who's ever been in a relationship that fell apart, they were a part of. So it was never a good argument. So I had to find something else. And what it came down to was figuring out, how do I accept this? How do I move forward? And not even with professional help, you still have to deal with that voice in the back of your head that asks the question why, that would like to end it all. But then you have to look at the things that you would like to live for. I do have 6 kids. Yes, they don't live with me. But I pay my child support, and I have joint custody with all of the mothers. They all know me. They call me dad. I've only got one of 6 that calls somebody else dad, but that's because he was a baby. His mother raised him that way. Nothing I can do about that, but he knows that I'm his real dad. And every time that I go to see him, just the reaction that he has whenever he reaches straight for me. Doesn't matter who else is around, even if it's his mother there. He knows who his dad is, and that's the important thing. That makes life worth living. Then I have to look at other people. I'm a non-commissioned officer in the United States Army. I've had a good career. Yeah, I've had some downs. I've probably been talked about behind my back before, but overall, it's been a positive experience. I have had a lot of really great people come into my life. And I would like to think somewhere along the way, I made a difference in somebody else's life, especially with my job as a combat medic. It is hard to deal with whenever you lose somebody in that role. But you got to look at the people that you were there for. You have to remember the traumas that you saved a life. And even if you're not in the medical field, you've probably touched somebody's life somewhere along the way. And I don't care how socially awkward you are or how much of an outgoing person you are. There's somebody out there whose life that you've impacted. And for the people that you lost, you have a responsibility to keep moving forward, to pick up the pieces of your life, and to share what you learned, to take all of those collected experiences and make something useful out of them. So this whole video series is kind of my way of paying back the people that have positively impacted my life, the people who brought me back from the brink of destruction. And do I still deal with it? Yeah, of course. Probably will for the rest of my life. But I do have things that are worth sticking around for. And I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of you people out there, that if you are contemplating suicide, that if you are at a point where you're at this helpless and hopeless spiral where just things are just falling out of control all around you, don't be afraid to reach out. In my last video, I talked about nobody can take my man card away. And that's true. I've seen and done things that people only imagine ever doing. I've traveled pretty much around the entire planet. I haven't hit south of the equator yet, but you know what? It's on my to-do list. I would love to go see, because I speak Spanish, which is a story all on its own. But I've never actually been to a Spanish-speaking country. So I've been to places where they speak French, German, Arabic, Pashto. But I've never been to Spanish-speaking. So that's on my to-do list. So there's another reason that I have to live, because this is a goal that I want to fulfill. And actually, that's something that I would recommend for you too. Look at the goals that you want to fulfill. What are the things that if you were to die and you became a ghost, they always say that a ghost has unfinished business. Well, what's your unfinished business? Because you can't leave this earth until you finish that. And if nothing else, just there's people out there that care about you. I recently got put up for this 22 push-ups for 22-day challenge, which I will get around to doing, I promise. And if there's people that care enough that they're going to physically exert themselves to keep you from taking your life, even if they don't know you, you probably owe them that. and you owe it to yourself. There's nothing wrong with getting help. Okay? And if you're too embarrassed to go to a behavioral health center or go see a psychiatrist, hit me up. Most of you out there at least have some way of contacting me. I mean, there's a comments box right below here. You can feel free to leave me a message. I don't share information with anybody. I'm not a behavioral health specialist, so I can't give you clinical advice on that subject, but I can direct you in the resources, the way to get you to the place that you need to be. I think it's about all I've got. That's all the time I have for right now. If you'd like some more information, or if you'd like to share your own story, please, by all means, I'm all ears. They say you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Okay, so I'm more than willing to listen to whatever it is that you have to say. Just be an ear for you.